The Week with Ben Ellis.
This is Switch.
So I'm here with The Week, and I'm here with the lovely Naomi Dawes. She's a singer, songwriter, producer, performer, everything.
Everything.
Wash her up.
Yeah, that too.
Does everything, does absolutely everything. Naomi, it's a pleasure to meet you at last. Been listening to your music for a couple of weeks now, to be honest. Since Ben interviewed you during lockdown a couple of months ago, you kind of caught my eye and my ear, and I was like, oh, let's have a little dabble, as you do. So I'm catching up. But you've got a new single, Skin and Bones, released last Thursday. So how's that going? Has it been busy?
Yeah, it's been a bit crazy. I think this is the first release where I've been trying to make it more professional. I've had like a whole spreadsheet full of what I've got to do on each day, and it makes it a lot easier actually. But yeah, it's doing really well. The video's getting some good views, so is the song's getting some good listens as well. So yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah, okay. It's been different though, I suppose, with lockdown and everything. So
definitely.
How is that? Is that affected how you've promoted it? Have you done anything different that way?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have had like live shows, and that's where I get most of my traction from. People hear me sing and they follow me, and that's how people tend to find my music. But with lockdown, it's a lot different, obviously, because we can't go out and do that. And although I do have a live show at the end of this month, I've not performed live in ages. So it's about networking online, but I find that's important anyway through like social media. But yeah, it's completely different, really. You know, it's just different to navigate, and it's finding new ways of engaging people, because maybe you do, I don't know, like, as I say, a live performance or some sort of meet up where you have people come along and you interact with them and chat to them about your new project or whatever. But you can't really do that. It's all
you're in the middle, really, aren't you? Because you've got your live performances and your fans, your audience, demographic, but then you've got the other side where it's more the corporate and the more, music industry people. So you've got to try and get to both. You're a bit limited on how you can do that. But I feel that you use social media platforms really, really well. So you're Natter with Naomi. So how did they come about?
I can't really remember, I've been doing them for probably since the beginning of 2019. And I think it was just a way for me to engage with people, chat. So first off, started chatting about my releases and then music videos, and then I just started to talk about things that I'm interested in or think that my following might be interested in too, and important topics that I think people could learn from or to educate or whatever. I just think, I'm trying with my social media. I try to be very transparent, so people know who I am as a person as well as a performer. So I think it was just another way of
I feel they've evolved, because they, first of all, as you say, you were just thinking out loud, putting presenters like me out of a job. It's like an interview just with your fans, isn't it? Which is great. But then as they've evolved, you've kind of gone for sharing best practice on social media, having strategies for releasing your music, and even, which I watched the other day, which I found very useful, warming up your voice. I found very good. But the vinegar bit, I have to admit, I was like, so that didn't go down well. That did not go down well. But the ginger and hot water and lemon was lovely. So sharing best practice in lots of different ways. So, and it's lovely. I love how transparent you are with your fans. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You say it as it is, which is great. But what are the things that you want your fans to say? Let's say 3 things. If someone is listening to you for the first time, what 3 things do you want them to kind of grab from that first experience with Naomi Dawes' music?
Well, I think I want them to enjoy it. I don't want them to dislike it. I think I'd like them to, as I say, enjoy it. I think I'd like them to want to find out more and connect with the music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's it basically. I think I think it's really important when people connect with your music, and then I don't want people to just go, oh, that was a nice song, I'll move on to the next one in this playlist. I want people to go, oh, okay, well, who's this performer?
You want the intrigue there, don't you? You want them to pull them in and kind of say, check me out, see what I look like, see what see what the sounds I've got, because it was your voice that first kind of like caught my ear. So talk to me about that. When did you first kind of really discover, actually, I can really sing and this is a great tool?
I think I just always enjoyed singing. I never really thought about, you know, when I was a child, I never really thought about doing it as a profession. I wanted to be a swimmer, actually, an Olympic swimmer when I was little. But yeah, I think when I got to secondary school and I was in the choir, and we had one teacher who pulled me and a couple of other girls aside who she thought had nice voices, and sort of put us into our own little solo group, and we'd all like perform together. And I think I really enjoyed it, but then people started to be like, oh, you've got a really nice voice. And I think because I'm lazy and I enjoyed it, I was like, well, I'll just do this then, this is fine. Yeah, I enjoy it. People,
you've mentioned that you're lazy in a couple of interviews, to be fair, but I just think that you're using the tools that you didn't know you had. So, you know, you don't need an instrument, you don't need your drum kit, although you're probably really good at that as well. You've got your voice and you carry it with you everywhere, which is really handy.
It is really helpful. You know, setting up isn't very hard. I just plug the microphone in. It's not like setting up a whole drum kit. So, yeah.
That must be a nightmare, to be fair. But talking about your voice and your vocal range, so there's a lot of people that we recognise over the years that have got the same vocal range as yourself. I did write a few down. Let me have a look. So some of the people from when I was younger, because you're only a baby still. People like Alison Moyet, Annie Lennox, Tracy Chapman, PJ Harvey, Courtney Love. So, you know, those kind of ones, but more modern ones, which the listeners can probably relate a bit more to. People like Lady Gaga, Pink, Shakira. I know you're a fan of Lana Del Rey as well. So this is a really nice group to be in, isn't it? Because, you know, they're very established and fantastic singers with fantastic back catalogues and everything. So how are you going to stand out? Because this vocal range, I mean, Adele is another one. Adele had a big change when she said it on one of her acceptance speeches, is that she listened to the criticisms and she changed what she did. Instead of singing along to the song, she changed it round and she kind of sang from the heart. So, I mean, you have got very emotional kind of lyrics and a real passion and a kind of, you know, vigor behind it all, especially with the new song Skin and Bones. So what kind of sets you apart from any of those?
I think like I mentioned earlier, social media. I mean, obviously they're all on social media, but I think a lot of them didn't come up with social media. And I think when I was younger and I'd first see an artist on like TV or whatever, you just see the persona and you'd be drawn in, and then maybe you'd find a bit more out in magazines or TV interviews. But I think if someone hears your music and likes it, there's a link in the description of whatever platform they're on that you can go and click on to go take it to the social media, and then you can sort of invest in, oh, I really like them because they're body positive as I am, or I really like them because they're funny or whatever. So I think social media is going to help a lot, but it's kind of hard to say. But I think my live performances kind of speak for themselves. I'm a very emotional singer, which I think matches up with the performance, and you know, I don't know, something magical happens, and I really do think that's a feedback loop from when you perform, and it's sort of a connection you have. But yeah, I don't really know what happens when I perform live, but something special definitely happens because I don't know, it's just this feeling. So I think
a buzz.
A buzz.
It must be amazing. Like I would be too I've got nothing to show anyway, but I can't imagine how much courage you need to get up there. But I suppose if it's something you're really passionate about and it's something you really want to share and connect with other people, that's your platform, literally. So enjoying it is probably the biggest thing. And you're right, all those people that I've mentioned before probably hadn't got social media to build their platform from the very grassroots, I suppose. I mean, singers going back to people like Nina Simone, I mean, they barely had like film then, so it's kind of like, and she's synonymous with that vocal range as well. So it just goes to show, you know, sustainability and all that. Bless. Okay, well, going back to your performances, you say you've got a performance at the end of October.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So it is on the 21st, sorry. It's on the 21st of this month, at the Dark Horse in Moseley. It's obviously a social distance show. I'm on the lineup with Martin Yates and a couple of other artists. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting because I've not performed live in 8 months.
It's going to be like performing live for the first time all over again, isn't it?
It's going to be scary.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm hopefully going to be doing some new material. Yeah, it's going to be nice to get back out there, and I've got a lot of friends.
Isn't it? It's connecting with live people, if you like.
And that's so important, I think, because I've done some like online festivals this year where I've recorded myself, sent it in and that, but it doesn't have the same. It's like I said, the feedback loop is so important because it felt so, I don't know, I felt really constricted because I had to stay in the frame of the phone, and it was just sort of very stiff, you know.
Yeah, you weren't able to be like very motive. No, that's not a word. You weren't able to move around a lot. Let's just say it felt like constricted, restricted.
Yes.
So you know, listening to your lyrics, listening to your story and stuff, you're obviously a very independent young lady. So you mentioned before, or did you? You're very body confident, which comes across in your videos. Brilliant. And it's lovely and refreshing because a lot of people these days have got so many, they feel like they've got so many flaws and they don't want to hide away. So it's refreshing to have someone who says, this is me, this is my body. Like it, don't like it, it's up to you, but this is it, which is great. And it feels like, correct me if I'm wrong, that you've grown up in quite a female influenced household. So is that right?
Yeah, I mean, my mum is a very strong woman. I love my mum. She's such a independent figure, and I think that's where I get it from. I have 2 older sisters, and I was sort of brought up more by my nan as a child, so I've definitely had more female input in my life, and also through influences. A lot of my influences growing up were female music wise that I could sort of relate to or connect to or just invest in, you know. And you know, looking at artists like Lady Gaga, who just didn't give a damn what anyone would say, would just do it. I just think that's such an important message. And I grew up thinking, well, I don't understand why boys are meant to be doing better than girls. Like, what's wrong? I'm a girl, but I want to like play football and I want to, you know, do this. So I've always had that attitude, really. It's
good. It's a good attitude to have, to be honest. And I feel that it's improved the kind of like balance between male and female and what they can and the expectations of what they can and can't do. There's no limitations for anybody, but it's improving, but it's still not there, is it? It's still hard work.
Yeah, you know, I still find that I you know, well, obviously I haven't done this for a while, but you know, I'll walk into an event or a networking event or a room full of people, and a guy will walk in and they're just looked at for, oh, what can this guy do, or you know, whatever. But a female walks in and it's very much, is she attractive, is she not attractive? That's the first thing. And then, oh, what can she do? Oh, is she pretty, is she not? And it's quite frustrating because I mean, I'm a person, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to necessarily be looked at as an object. I want to be taken seriously. I take my music very seriously. I want to walk into a room and be taken seriously, not just looked at like, am I attractive or not, you know?
And you're right, people do, that's the first thing, like it's almost like Terminator when they go, okay, let's just scan this person. Are they a good singer? Can they play their instrument? And when it's a woman, it's kind of like, what are they wearing? How's the hair? You know, are they attractive? And you're right, you're absolutely right. But it's getting there, but it's slow progress, let's say.
Definitely is.
Okay, so Skin and Bones. So what is the track all about? As I said before, it's very passionate. So have you got a bit of backstory to that single? Yeah,
so I wrote it about August last year, so it's been a long time coming, because obviously lockdown put a stop to a lot of things.
Hold on a minute, August last year, so you've had, you know, 2 singles, is it? You've had Who's That Girl? You've had Suits You. You've had your collaboration with Al Sam.
Yeah, and my collaboration with Mayday 2 came out before.
Yeah. Why so long?
I think I was working on it for, I think I took it, I made it and then took it to Reese from Bayten Studios in October time last year. And I started working on it, and then I really liked it and thought, this is the single I'm going to put out at the beginning of the year. And then I wrote Don't Suit You in December, very early December, and I did a very quick turnaround because that was done by like February. And I felt like putting Don't Suit You out first worked better, because it's like an ease into the new sort of vibe I've got. And I think obviously lockdown then interrupted it, because my plan was to then release Skin and Bone in maybe like May, June time, but you know, everything happened. It hadn't been mastered or anything, so it kind of took a while. And then I just wanted to make sure, because it was probably done at the beginning of August, I wanted to make sure that I had everything polished for the release, to make sure that the music video was good, to make sure that it could be the best release I've done, and I think it's achieved that. But yeah, so Skin and Bone, Chorus was kind of written about an experience I'd had, very loosely, and then the rest of it's just sort of about empowerment and having that sort of, you know, as a female,
It's like confidence comes across to me, like, you know, in your face, kind of like, not in a bad way, but just in a kind of an almost lustful way. It's just kind of, I can throw myself around, I can do this, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? That's what I get from it anyway.
Definitely. And I think it's about that. And as females, I don't think we necessarily always have the whole, I'm empowered, I feel sexy, and that's fine. And so I think it's just one of those songs. It's like I said, as a child, I didn't see why boys could do things that girls couldn't, and boys have been talking like that for years. So, you know, I just wanted to feel empowered and then give that over to anyone who was listening to it. You know, I've had a lot of feedback from females saying that, oh, I just felt so sassy after listening to it. And
exactly. That's
amazing.
Sassy. That's a good description.
Yeah, definitely.
That is so. I think you're definitely Switch's music crush at the moment, because you're single with El Sam. I listen to Switch all day because I'm really, you know, on brand and all that. But it's just while I'm working from home, I can listen to radio all day, so I do. But every time they've played The Only One with El Sam, everybody loves it. Absolutely every presenter is like, oh, that is such a cracking song, and blah, blah, blah. So hopefully that's doing really well as well. But Skin and Bones is out now. Presuming you can get it on all streaming platforms. Yeah,
so Skin and Bone is out now. It's on, as you say, all streaming platforms. There's a music video on YouTube, and my social media is at Naomi Dawes Music on every platform. Yeah,
I love the way you've kept it consistent, so everyone can find you at any point. That's great. There was something else I was going to say to you now. Right, so during lockdown, obviously lockdown has brought a lot of challenges, but also given the people the ability to have, or, you know, take a breather, reflect, or actually achieve something. So you have achieved so much during lockdown. You know, you've written, you've recorded, you've produced, you've done all your social media. So I just wanted to share with you what I've done.
Okay.
So my household, I am renowned for not being able to look after houseplants. And you know, yes, our household is known as the houseplant hospice, because they come to me to die. But I'm going to change the name now to the Houseplant Hotel, and I want to share with you one of my great successes. Look at this little fellow. Isn't he great? He's a Chinese money plant.
Naomi
looks very...
Sorry, you froze. I was like, I can't see him. I can't see him.
No. Did you see him then?
Yeah, I did. I got a short.
You got my lovely plants.
Yeah, and so lovely.
Our house is full of green now, because I'm here to water them, nurture them, talk to them, sing to them all day long. So is there anything else that you got out of lockdown that you can kind of say, not that it's a good thing, because obviously it's not, but is there anything you can take away from it and say, because of lockdown, I've done this, or I've learned that, or...
Well, I've actually been battling a lot with mental health, which my mental health has always been sort of consistent, and then 2 years ago it was probably at its lowest, and then I was all good last year, and then being in lockdown and not being able to perform, which is such a big thing for me, and interact with people in the industry. You know, I got quite low, and I'm in a new relationship which started during lockdown, and we've both been battling our own issues. And I think something I've taken away is I've had so many conversations with him about mental health, how we're feeling, and I just feel very lucky to have come through that, and feel like very positive at the end of it, that I want to deal with issues, deal with you know, mental health. And yeah, I just feel like I've learned a lot about myself and my mental health, and how to keep myself afloat and not allow myself to sink, I think.
Yeah, I think it sounds like you've started, like, relationships during lockdown have obviously been turned on their head.
Yeah.
Because no longer can you go and meet someone in a bar. You know, if you're on one of the dating apps, you go out and meet them in the park instead, which, to be honest, is probably less intimidating because you're out in the open, in public or whatever. So it sounds like between you and your new partner that, you know, you've already got all that stuff out the way, the kind of mental, you know, the mental health and what you're dealing with and how you've come through it. So that's a really good way to start. So good luck with that, and have a great campaign with your new single Skin and Bones. We'll be playing that next, and we'll be playing it non-stop, to be fair. So Naomi, good luck, wishing you all the best, and hope your performance in October, where is it again?
It's at the Dark Horse. The
Dark Horse on the 21st. Are there tickets still available, or have you
sold? So if you go to my bio on Instagram, there should be some links on Facebook and Twitter too. It's in there, and you can buy a ticket from there, really. Yeah,
that's brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us today on Switch Radio.
Thank you for
good luck.
For more great videos from the week, make sure you subscribe to our channel. It's down here somewhere. And don't forget, you can catch us on the radio every Sunday between 12 and 2 on FM across Birmingham, 107.5, on mobile, on DAB and online. We're made for Birmingham. This is Switch Radio.